Lesson 1, Unit 5, the logical framework. A key component of any development project is the logical framework. It is the base from which most project information requirements are defined, and it provides the sequence of data to information that the project will generate through its life cycle. It is important to first understand the logical framework and its components before developing a solution to manage the project information. The logical framework, or log frame, is a tool for planning and managing development projects. It aims to present information about the key components of a project in a clear, concise, logical, and systematic way. The log frame is constructed during the design phase and is a structured summary of the project information needs. The log frame helps the project to analyze an existing situation, including the identification of stakeholder needs and the definition of related objectives. It establishes a causal link between inputs, activities, outputs, outcomes, and objectives. It defines the assumptions on which the project logic builds, identifies the potential risk for achieving the objectives and outcomes, establishes a system for monitoring and evaluation project performance, and establishes a communication and learning process among key stakeholders. A good PMIS is based on the log frame as the framework from which all information will be organized. It is from the log frame that the PMIS can connect project objectives with project activities and measure progress. But most importantly, it records the relationship between outputs and impact in the way that project managers can use to evaluate the contribution of the outputs to the objectives of the project and the final impact goal. When the logical framework is applied to the PMIS, the project obtains the following benefits. There is a consistent link between the inputs, activity, outputs, and the outcomes impact of the project. There is a systematic approach to organizing the activities of the project under specific outcomes and objectives, and it's a means to see which outputs are significant in achieving outcomes. The typical logical framework consists of a 4x4 matrix with a vertical hierarchy of objectives at the project final goal, the intermediate objectives or outcomes, the outputs, and the activity levels. Then there is the horizontal components, which are the summary of the objectives at each level, the performance indicators for the achievement of those objectives, the sources and means needed to verify the indicators, and the important risks and assumptions from moving from one level of the objectives to the next. At the core of the logical framework is the temporal logic model that runs through the matrix. This takes the form of a series of connected propositions. If the activities are implemented and these assumptions hold, then these outputs will be delivered. If the outputs are delivered and these assumptions hold, then the outcomes will be achieved. And finally, if the outcome is achieved and the assumptions hold, then the goal will be achieved. This is the hierarchy or hypothesis. The assumptions column is of great importance in clarifying the extent to which the project objectives depend on external factors and greatly clarify the potential risks if they are not met. Tracking progress against a carefully defined output indicator provides a clear basis for monitoring progress. Verifying the progress of outcomes and goals simplifies the evaluation of the project and helps monitor its performance and take corrective actions on time. Log frames are living documents, which might need modifications during the life of the project according to the changes in a dynamic external environment. The information contained is generated during the design of the project and is used to manage project implementation. It is therefore not uncommon to find during the implementation phase that some of the initial assumptions have changed. It is then a responsibility of the project manager to make the necessary adjustments. Here's an example of a typical log frame structure that shows each box with the type of information the project team should complete.